Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with another edition of the NEC Notebook, delivered to you by WB Mason. Duquesne quarterback Darius Parentes is the NEC Offensive Player of the Week. The sophomore came off the bench during the first half in the win over Central Connecticut. He went 17 of 24 for 260 yards with 2 touchdowns. Teammate Brian Brudsdowitz is the special teams pick after going 3 for 3 on field goals, including a career long from 40. Defensive honors go to Wagner linebacker Junior Wiley. He made the SportsCenter top 10 with a 49-yard pick six to belt LIU. The Rookie Award goes to freshman quarterback Gavin McCusker, as Merrimack won its 5th in a row with a huge victory over Sacred Heart. He threw for 124 yards and a touchdown and ran for 55 yards and a score. Catch free conference action live on necfrontrow.com. We'll be back on ESPN3 on Saturday, November 5th with Central Connecticut at LIU. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Follow the season on Twitter at NEC Sports and on the web at northeastconference.org.
Yeah, very impressed with what Coach Kern and Merrimack have done in their 4-year transition. Obviously, they're a couple years ahead of us in their process, and they've done an awesome job building their roster. They're playing really hard, really consistent football. They're running the ball really well, which is always going to be a recipe for success at any level in any division. They're playing really good defense. They're challenging people, and they're playing complete football games. They're competing in all 3 phases. They're making big plays in all 3 phases, and yeah, they're definitely riding high, and they're coming off a big win last week against a really good Sacred Heart team. So we know it's going to be a really tough football game. We've had a lot of games against them in the past, obviously not in the NEC. So, but we're definitely familiar with each other, and we're excited for the crowd and the environment and the opportunity. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm very proud of the level of confidence we've displayed, and I think we've got a team full of guys that don't back down from challenges, right? I think it would have been really easy for a lot of teams to look at this transition and when it happened, and the road in front of us, right? To say, okay, well, this is going to be a really tough year, right? And it is a tough year. Every year is a tough year. But I just think our guys have approached us like we can beat anybody. As long as we prepare, as long as we play together, as long as we play a complete game, we can compete with anyone at any level. So that level of confidence and that sense of urgency has really fed into how we approach the film room, how we approach the weight room, how we approach the practice field. And I think that's really led to why we've seen some success this year. I mean, obviously we had 2 disappointing outcomes these past 2 weeks, and I think one of the things I'm most proud of is our guys have not treated these last 2 weeks as moral victories. They're both hard-fought games, and really kind of flipped from the standpoint, like I thought against Sacred Heart, we played really well offensively, and it got to a point in the second half of that game where as long as we got the ball back, we were going to score. They really couldn't stop us offensively, and defensively we just didn't play well. We didn't play consistent. We were just kind of a step behind on most plays. And then you kind of flip the page to St. Francis, and obviously the defense played really well against one of the best offenses in the FCS, right, and kept us in that football game. And we just struggled to find consistency offensively there, and that's just a good kind of message to the team has been, we need to play complementary football. And there's going to be times where offensively we need to lean on the defense, right? And defensively we got to lean on the offense. Or special teams needs to come up with a big play or keep flipping the field from us, for us, so that we can stay in a ball game, in a tight game, and give ourselves a chance to win in the fourth quarter. So I think that's what we've seen to this point. And I think our guys are just really excited for every challenge that we have every single week. Yeah, I think his growth really says a lot about him. It says a lot about his preparation, his ability to take coaching. To come in to camp this year as 3rd on the depth chart, right? And to work your way up and to develop yourself and to compete into being a starter for week 1 is really just, I think that says worlds about his mentality, his approach, and the type of competitor he is. Because I think it'd be very easy in a position like quarterback where there's only going to be one on the field to come in as the 3rd string guy and kind of be like, all right, well, it's not my year, right? And that's just not the type of person he is. It's not the type of it's not how we coach our guys. So it's really pleasing to see someone develop and really every single week get a little bit better, right? And everything, there's so many things that he experiences even to today that are first for him as a college football player, right? So, to see some of the situations he gets put in and to see how he responds, it's something we're really proud of as a coaching staff. And I think for our program, for him to be as efficient as he is, and for him to really be able to tell this tale to the rest of the roster, like, hey, I came in not where I wanted to be, but I did something about it, right? And I put myself in a position to be successful and to help my team win football games. I think that it speaks so incredibly to the culture that we're trying to create here, and that's a great representation of it. Yeah, it's great to have different guys step up, right? Obviously we don't want to be in a position in any phase of the game where we're just really relying on one guy to make plays for us, right? And if you're doing that at this level of football, coaches and teams can schematically make sure that that's not possible, right? So I think it's been really good to see not only how well Jermaine has played out of the backfield and carrying the load from a run game perspective, but after him, Tom Camell and Jarrell Washington have each made huge impacts on the season already. So one, to have 3 different running backs that have made some big plays for us. I think a lot of that does speak to the consistency of our offensive line room, right? For our quarterback to have a clean pocket and for our running back to have running lanes, those 5 guys up front have to be working in unison and moving people in the pass and in the run game. So I'm really pleased with how they've gotten better every single week. And then obviously, we're a little dinged up on the perimeter, so we've had some different guys step up out there and make some plays, some younger guys that are getting some more reps than maybe we anticipated. And then obviously on defense, it's been good to have some different guys make some huge plays for us. Last week against St. Francis, in the first half of the game, we gave up a lot of yards. We gave up the 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and turnovers and, relying on some penalties on their part, really helped us in that first half of that game until we really settled in and played some more dominant football in the second half. But, Kevin Porch had a forced fumble that he recovered. That was in the plus area. They were going in. He intercepted a pass and got the ball back to our offense on the plus side of the field. So making big plays like that, they're just huge momentum swings, right? And that's a 5th-year senior that obviously we want to and need to have make big plays. But I think what we're seeing is some really consistent performance, and then some kind of like high-end, like above and beyond stuff, like we saw from LaMonica against Duquesne. 2 plays in a row, he downs a punt inside the 10-yard line on special teams and then intercepts a pass to essentially win the game on the very next play. So, guys that step up in those moments, it's something that you're really proud of as a coach, because you try to prepare them as much as possible throughout the week. And then the lights come on and you're hoping that they're going to fall back on their preparation. And I think that's what we're seeing from those guys. They have great weeks of practice, and it shows up on Saturdays. Yeah, talking about Merrimack, they're definitely going to try to run the football. They're having a lot of success running the football. They've got 2 tailbacks, 3 really, but 2 primary guys that are shouldering a lot of the workload. They've got a younger quarterback that stepped in the last 4 or 5 weeks after their starter got hurt. And he's an athletic kid. He's got a good arm. They haven't been throwing the ball maybe as much as they did before he took over, but they haven't had to. They've been able to control the game on the ground, and they've got a really talented slot receiver, number 2, Jakari Carter, who was an all-conference kid last year, leads the league in catches. He's up there. And they find a lot of different ways to get him the ball, and he's a dynamic player. On the defensive side of the ball, they are going to challenge you. They're going to play man-free almost every snap. They're going to account for everybody from a pass game standpoint, which is going to allow them to possibly get an extra guy in the box to help stop the run. So, I think it's going to be really an interesting battle on both sides of the ball, because offensively we need to be able to run the ball and take advantage of some of the man coverage looks that we're going to get, that we know that we're going to get. And then, on defense, obviously it always comes down to stopping the run. But they run some good RPO schemes off of their run game, so we've got to stay on our toes in the secondary and not kind of fall asleep knowing that they're going to hand the ball off quite a bit. Yeah, first off, just insanely happy and appreciative that that we are bringing back homecoming. It's something, I've been here for 14 years and it hasn't really been a part of our athletics culture here. We've always done a parents and family weekend, but homecoming to me is more about bringing those alumni back, right? And it's a different type of atmosphere. And I know I've already had a ton of alum, over my almost decade and a half time here that have reached out this week. Hey, I'm coming back for this game. I played Merrimack when I was at Stonehill in the NE10, and now it's homecoming weekend and I get to see you guys take on Merrimack at the Division I level. So I think there's a lot of excitement from our alumni. I think it's going to be a beautiful day here. I think the crowd is going to be loud. I think the stands are going to be full. I think our campus is going to be buzzing tomorrow, and we're really excited about that. No, I think we're just really excited to take on a really quality opponent. I think we've had a really good week of preparation. I think it's going to be a great football game. So hopefully everybody comes out, they wear purple and they're loud, and we're excited for the challenge.
Kyle Turner for NECFrontRow.com, here to bring you the NEC Football Super 7 Countdown presented by Geico. Time to take a look at the top 7 plays from Week 8 in NECFB. We kick things off at number 7. Wagner's Naeem Simmons blows by his defender and hauls in this 29-yard touchdown reception.
LIU's coming on the blitz. Cardman quickly unloads. Far down the right side for Simmons. Touchdown! It goes for 29 yards. And Wagner jumps on top, 20-13.
Number 6. On 4th and 11, Duquesne quarterback Darius Parentes steps up in the pocket and finds Jalen Cooper for a 24-yard touchdown strike.
And it's going to be a touchdown. Cooper hauls it in.
Number 5. Sacred Heart's Marquez McRae finds Kenneth Womack, who gets inside his defender and is off to the races for this 68-yard catch and run for the touchdown.
Womack, and he might have the end zone. Oh, what a play for Sacred Heart just when they needed one.
And they hit.
A 68-yard touchdown pass from McRae to Womack, and just like that, the Pioneers pick up their first touchdown.
Coming in at number 4. St. Francis U's Elijah Surratt takes the quick pitch from Cole Doyle and goes 65 yards to the house for the tutty.
In the NEC, they're already out to a 3-1 start, and here's the hand and a big pickup for Elijah Surratt, and he is gone! Surratt, 65 yards for the touchdown!
Number 3. Merrimack touchdown machine Victor Dawson takes his time and emerges from the line of scrimmage to bulldoze his way for 6 points on this 28-yard touchdown run.
Staying patient, Dawson bursting through,
Get there.
and to the end zone he goes. Victor Dawson right where he left off last week, a 27-yard run. Warriors strike first. It's 6-0.
Number 2, we have a couple of pick sixes from Wagner. First, Colby Calvin picks off this pass near the sideline and sees nothing but green going 60 yards for the score.
Rolling, and he fires an interception along the far sideline. Coming back the other way for the Wagner Seahawks, and he will go all the way in for a touchdown. It is a pick six by Colby Calvin.
Then Wagner's Trey Voller gets the hit on the QB, leading to this 49-yard pick six from NEC Defensive Player of the Week, Junior Wiley.
Splits the pass protectors, and then the hit from behind, and that's intercepted. Has a chance at a pick six. 20, 10, touchdown, Junior Wiley.
And our top play of the week comes from Sacred Heart's Peyton Rhodes, who goes all the way up and over a blocker for this insanely athletic blocked punt that leads to a safety against Merrimack.
Zone and out of the back of the end zone. And that is a huge block punt, but maybe a bigger call is that it's a safety. So Sacred Heart does take the lead here, but they'll get the ball back.
Well, folks, there you have it. That is your NEC Football Super 7 countdown from Week 8 presented by Geico. Fans, don't forget, if you see a great play, let us know on Twitter at NEC Sports or at NEC Football. For NECFrontRow.com, I'm Kyle Turner. Enjoy Week 9 of NEC FB, and I'll see you again next week.